What is up, arcaders? Welcome back to the Closing Hours channel. It's been a minute. I've just been inactive, and I'm sorry about that. To kind of explain, I just wanted to do other stuff for a bit. I got burnt out on doing daily videos pretty quick, and that's usually how it usually lasts about a week, which is better than most, I'd say. If it's a sex joke for all the audience members out there. And also, I wanted to focus on my at the time Majora's Mask video essay because I was working on that, and I would literally just close the project file of the Majora's Mask video to edit up that night's video, and it just felt like a chore more than anything fun. And now that I'm kind of done with that, and also my newest video essay, the Persona 3 video essay, I'm back to doing whatever. I am currently working on my next video essay, but I've not started editing it yet because I'm a slacker. But it'll come out this week, hopefully. Anyway, today I want to talk about my show, The Anime Curse. Now, that's another thing I've been working on behind the scenes. Not really behind the scenes, but it's been out for a bit now. But 5 years ago, I started a little series on my original channel, which is now Arcade Gamer Archive. And it was about a boy named Jerry. Didn't have a name at the time, but about a boy who watched anime, and it was goofy, it was fun, and there was a little bit of lore sprinkled in there. Ooh, he's in a facility of some sort to censor the freaking food brands for some reason when grabbing a Mountain Dew in episode 2. I don't know why I did that. I'm not paid by anyone. I'm not paid to do this yet. Ooh. And the series went on for longer than it was supposed to. When I wrapped up season 3, I looked back on everything. I was like, I am not happy with this. So I tried rectifying it with making TAC Plus. And I recorded one episode of it and uploaded it to YouTube. YouTube blocked it. And it was a scripted thing. It was me talking about each episode of the anime in depth. And it was alright, nothing too special. It took a bit to finish, but once I did, I was like, alright, can't wait to upload this. And then YouTube blocked my ass because it used content from the animes. That is now lost to media, and if there is a way to recover that, I would love to, but I'm more than positive it's long gone. If I can get into Google servers and recover it, that would be a blessing, but I doubt it. It's also a lot on my Google Drive I would not like to recover, so let's keep it that way, huh? Yeah, it didn't fall through, and in my disappointment, I went ahead and made this crappy scripted thing that just told the story, quote unquote, called Final Chapter, and it told the story in a very poor manner, and how it was about Jerry, the main character, after the events of season 3. It would be about him kind of accepting the past, and then dying and going onto the future. Ooh. And I immediately was like, I'm not happy with this. So I started making a season 4. And it fell through very quickly. It was going to continue right off from season 3 as the final chapter never happened. And it was going to be about Terry. So yeah, Jerry, Larry, Terry. Ooh, I have a great naming scheme. And Terry was going to be the new big bad, and Jerry's going to take him down. Now, I want to talk about some original concepts real quick, because for season 2 of The Anime Curse, originally it was going to be a Clockwork Orange thing. Now, at the time, I did not watch Clockwork Orange. At this current time, I've still not yet to watch it, but I know more about it than I did back then. In the Clockwork Orange, there's a scene where the guy is forced to have his eyes open to watch something on the TV screen. That was exactly what was going to be going on with Jerry. Larry's going to have him up on this contraption where he was going to be forced to watch anime the rest of his life. By the way, Larry is Jerry's brother, but he's the villain of the original series. So Jerry's held this contraption, and it would end with one of his friends coming in and saving him, and that was going to be it. Season 2 was going to be the original ending. But then I was like, I can't do this concept. I don't have the money. I don't have the concept art. I can't do any of it. So I scrapped it and went with what we got in season 2. Jerry's back in the building again. I'm back in the building again! You know, all that. And yeah. Then season 3 came along, and it was going to be... So season 2 ends with Jerry killing Larry in the anime world, because he had to escape it, and that's when it was revealed Larry's just big, evil, bad, ooh. Like, the whole season 2 is just him finding out that Larry's evil. And then season 3 was going to be after Jerry discovered that Larry was his brother, he would slowly turn to take his spot. He would work his way up like the ladder, and he'd become evil himself, you know? And I kind of wish I did that. I mean, I would have loved to see how that would have turned out. I think it would have been really cool, but in the end, I decided to go with the normal route, where, quote unquote, normal route, where where I keep getting them confused, where Larry came back to life and Larry helped Jerry escape by blowing himself up and blowing the building up and like deleting the rain that kept him there or whatever. It was extremely dumb. And now we're here. Season 4 was going to be Terry. He was evil and he was going to do everything again, basically revert everything, and then Jerry is going to end with Jerry sacrificing himself instead. Season 4 didn't get far in planning in the slightest. I think a few months later, after final chapter released, oh wait, hold on, I completely forgot about this. Ending a trilogy, I made that as well, which told a weird version of season 4 story. Yeah, whatever. Ending a trilogy sucked. It's about like. Actually, no, ending a trilogy was going to be useful for the original concept of season 4 Recurse, which we'll get into that in a second. So, Anime Curse Recurse, I made it like a few months later for like the, I think, 2-year anniversary. I was like, I'm remaking the first 2 seasons to match up with season 3, because season 3 was in a whole new like thing, new sets and everything. I just wanted to re-record everything and make it look nice and match up. Well, very quickly on, I think during episode 3's production, my good friend Lily was like, what if you do something original? And like started like spitting out ideas, and eventually we landed on doing a whole new story. And this caused an argument between me and Not TGP, where I wanted to remove TAC from Metal Knot, because TAC was a Metal Knot thing. Future wasn't part of TAC and all that. And so I was like, I want TAC to be its own thing. I don't want the Anime Curse to be a part of this at all. I want it to be a more serious story. I want it to be grounded in reality, quote unquote. And yeah. So we had an argument about that because I wanted to like reboot the whole story basically, and he wasn't having it. And so we eventually landed on what we have now, which is Future. Since it's in the cover art of the original album, it's still there, but it's under different ownership this time, and like all the songs that were like Anime Curse themed and related were just removed from the first album, and that's about it. Nothing too crazy. We figured it out, and so I was on my merry way to start making things original. So season 1 of Recursed ended with Larry knocking on Jerry's door saying, "I'm home, bud." And then season 2 picked up right off where that left off, which was, by the way, season 1 of Recursed was all the original animes I watched, minus Dragon Maid. In just new thoughts, fresh thoughts, all that. It's not that good. I'm very, like, perverted in it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just bad. I'm very, like, brother, she was naked in your room. Ugh. I did a stream on my main channel called Creator Commentary, where literally in real time you see me realizing, oh my god, I was a horrible person. And like real time you see it, and it's crazy because in season 4, Jerry's a feminist now, so let's go. Character development. So season 2 started with Jerry being like, "Hey bud, I came to visit. Oh, you're still mad at me about that thing from 5 years ago?" Which something happened 5 years ago. I wonder what it was. I'll just tell you right now. There was a big fight. Larry and Jerry had just come home from like whatever they were doing. I think the lore reason I have in mind is like Larry was looking for a house and he brought Jerry along because Jerry was going to move in with him or something. And when he got home, they raced inside and Jerry broke his mom's urn, and that pissed off his dad. His dad did not like Jerry for one reason, and that's because I don't think this is ever like explicitly told in the lore, but I'll just say it now. Jerry is responsible for his mom's death in a way. Giving birth to Jerry, his mom died. And his dad hated that. His dad just like saw Jerry as like an imperfection, kind of like how the never mind. I was going to make a Steven Universe comparison, but it didn't work. It started to fall apart instantly. Yeah, Jerry's dad did not like Jerry for that reason. So, after he broke his urn, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Matt, the dad, just tore into him. It's like, "Get the hell out of my house. You are not part of this family. Go." And Larry just stood there, scared, because he doesn't have balls. He's a coward. Until, but back then it was supposed to be 5 years ago, which means Jerry would have been like 13. And it just did not make sense because how would a 13-year-old live anywhere else? It's just. So in the end, I made him 18, and it all takes place in a span of a few months. So technically, Jerry's like, it's been a few months, bud. I want to make amends. And Jerry's like, no, you stood there, you did nothing. Get the hell out of my life. And Larry's like, okay. He leaves, and at the end of season 2, Jerry gets a call from his dad saying, hey, your brother killed himself. And that kind of sends Jerry into a spiral. The entire time, Jerry is suffering with depression because, again, his dad hates him. His mom's dead. He didn't even know her, but he's blamed for something that's not even his fault. And all of that. So to cope, he watched anime. But when he heard his brother killed himself, that kind of like put him deeper into that hole. He just like completely uh, ostracized himself from society, from the world, and just hid in that little blanket of the anime curse. And so when this started to happen, he started to see like apparitions of his brother Larry talking about lists and stuff, which there's a joke to be made here, but I won't make it. So Larry's like, watch these animes and blah 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 blah. At first, Jerry doesn't realize it's Larry because it looks nothing like him, but near the end of season 3, he starts to like pick up on things, and it's like, oh, at the end of season 3, he calls him Bud. The whole thing is that Larry calls Jerry Bud. That's like the entire thing. Like, hey Bud, what's up, Bud? I love you, Bud. Blah blah blah. And that's his whole thing. He calls him Bud. Blood. Whoa. End of season 3, Jerry's about to kill himself, and I did a horrible job representing that, but too late to back out now. I can't make recursed. I'm sorry to myself and everyone else, but I can't remake it again. It's just as it is. I might do like a cute little thing like in the future if I have a bigger budget of like the Anime Curse story version where it is all the fat cut off of like the anime review parts, and it's just a story of it all, just done in live action and everything showed, and yeah, I would love to do that. Jerry's about to kill himself, and Larry's apparition comes back and is like, I've got one more thing for you. Don't kill yourself, don't do anything, I got this one last list for you, and it is a bunch of animes that, in Larry's mind, would help him get out of the hole, because the original thing in season 4 was going to be Jerry watching animes that helped him out, that like helped him realize everything, but that fell through. Onto the original season 4 of the Anime Curse Recursed, which is pretty much done in its entirety. You can watch every episode but 2, and that's because they were never made. This is what I was talking about earlier about ending a trilogy being repurposed. The idea of ending a trilogy was repurposed here for final season, the original concept. A dark, endless void of nothingness where there's certain characters, certain people from Jerry's life talking to Jerry. Just a bunch of people from Jerry's life, like Larry, Matt, and then himself. It would end with him talking to himself, being like, I think it was more going to be Jerry talking down on himself, and then Larry coming in being like, the actual Larry being like, no, 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 and then kind of changing it up, Yeah, that fell through. I took a break for a bit because I was feeling burnt out in recording. Took a break when I had 2 episodes left to record, and I had a spinal stroke, and that just put a wrench in all my plans. So it gave me time to really reflect on things. When I got home, I did edit up episode 10 and release it because I, at the time, expected to continue it. But then as the year went on and I started looking back on the Anime Curse Season 4, I was like, I'm not happy with this. The episodes are too long, there's not anything, these are bad. So I initially planned to take the longest episodes, which were the Cowboy Bebop episodes, and replace them with Chainsaw Man. But that didn't get far before I realized I want to redo it all. I want to do it, but it's more fast, it's more fun, and I want to change the story up a little bit. So I kept that initial plan, though. In the first episode of the actual Season 4, which you can watch and it's out now, you can see him go through the, Charlotte, Your Lie in April, Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion. I just hit my desk. I'm sorry. And you can see him being like slowly like, yeah, finally something good, and then slowly start to be like, I'm tired of this because it didn't work. The message didn't get through, and that happens. I feel like in reality that happens a lot because like I feel like I've been in places where the answer to my problems are right there, but I just don't see them, and it takes a bit more time. I feel like that happens, right? Surely that happens. Anyway, I did do something in season 4 that I'm not too happy about. Like the yeah the beginning section. I'm like, I look at the camera, and it pisses me off whenever I rewatch it. Like, come on, out of all things you could have done there, you looked at the camera. What's wrong with you? Whatever. It's whatever. I do some cringy things. I'm not perfect. It happens. But I'm much more happier with the final product of season 4 than I am with the original product or any other product attack. I think it's genuinely good. I try to sprinkle in some jokes in there. I try to make it a little bit more serious, and I decided to not make it about Jerry, but make it about Larry. See, here's the thing: the original concept was Larry's list that he gave Jerry to be like, "This will fix him." But in reality, what fixed him was just reminiscing on Larry, who he was as a person, like all the things he liked, and it kind of made him like, Larry wouldn't blame me for this. This is stupid. And in the Persona 4 episode, which is out now, and this is what I can talk about, during the Persona 4 anime, he is like, what am I doing? Sulking here, doing nothing. Larry would not hate me. And he starts to kind of realize things. And I could have done this part better, but I think it's good enough, for what I was trying to do. I don't have big budget. I have a $0 budget. I am doing what I can. And I think I did pretty good. I hit, you get the gist of it. And again, in a few years when I have a bigger budget, I can go back and recapture it. So he finally breaks the curse, and bam, everything's nice, and then he goes to therapy, and that's where episode 7, which is currently out, ends. Now, Friday of this week, at the time I'm recording this, it is Wednesday, or Tuesday, it's almost Wednesday, and episode comes out May 1st on Friday, and it'll be the final episode of the entire series. It is it. That is it. There's no more. And I don't want to spoil what happens in the episode because it is different from a normal episode. I remember I was talking to JSV about like I want to put in the Persona 4 anime because I just watched it and I was like, dude, this would work perfectly for the finale season 4. But from the beginning of like when I was going to remake season 4, I was like, I need this show to end on the quintessential quintuplets movie. It has to end like that. That was like Jerry's favorite anime. It was my favorite anime. It's like it kind of just represents Jerry in a way. Like not like really, but like it's a show he always held dear. So it had to end on that anime. But I was like, how can I do it? And then I had like the spark of genius. Like the anime curse itself ends on episode 7. But on the episode 8, the quintessential quintuplets, it's when he like really just is able to accept it all. So and then from there I start to build up on it, and everything's unscripted. I did not script a single bit of the anime curse. I would just go with the flow. And originally the ending actually changed from recording to editing. It was gonna be Jerry's anime curse thing Jerry himself was starting to break through the anime curse because the anime curse is represented by the light moments. Every time there's a light on and like Jerry's all happy, that's when he's in the curse. When it's dark and he's sad, that's when he is out of it. That's reality. And I think I kind of, showed that off in episode 7. Maybe not, I don't know. But and yes, there are times where he's in the dark and he's in the anime curse. Those are just purely those are just flaws that I made. Those are accidents. you should know when he's in the curse. It's not that hard to point out, I don't think. If you have questions, I can answer them because I'm pretty sure in season 3 that happened a few times, and maybe in season 2. Uh, and season 1, okay, in season 1 of Recurse, I was like, it's free time. You can now leave rooms on episode 2 because at the time it was going to just be a remake. That just ignore it. It didn't happen. That was just I don't. I was gonna try to explain it away in the lore, like, oh, it was his roommate saying something. No, I am no. I also wanted to have a thing where it's like Jerry's in like a shack, but I was like, where did you get the TV from and all that? It didn't plan out too well. Anyway, and that's where we are. The anime curse. Jerry's like in the actual episode, you can see it breaking. Like the anime curse, Jerry is like holding his head in. The darkness is starting to seep in, and you can just see it breaking. And there's a little thing you cannot hear, I don't think, but when Jerry's saying, "For things that may or may not be my fault," you can hear the anime curse Jerry say, "Shut up." To kind of like silence him. It didn't work. It's very quiet though. Like I can't even hear it. And also you realize I say like that my or may, I say may very weird because I was gonna say might at first, but it changed it last second. And it's like it's more human. Yeah, totally. I was gonna let my mistake be. It's more human that way. People just have a slip of the tongue. Surely, it's not like this is the biggest moment of the series. It's whatever. I can fix it. I can fix it in the supercut. I can fix a lot of my issues in the supercut. Actually, I just thought about that. I might be a goddamn genius. That's where we are now. For the finale of the series, I don't know if it'll be out by the time I release this, but in case it's not, all I'm going to say is look up what a rain lily is and just know what it represents when going into the final episode because it is important to that final episode that you know what a rain lily is. It is like it was a very late last minute addition to like have the series be about rain or the finale be about rain lilies and like having the whole series be represented by one. It was like I think midway through recording episode 5, I figured out what one was, and I was like, "Ooh, I would like to end the series like that," and so I did. I had my good friend Alice make me some props. They are amazing. Thank you for 5 years. Despite its many flaws, and despite its many, you know, hardships, I have a soft spot for even the worst episodes of TAC. Like, I just I like to see how I improved over time, and I hope that with season 4, the finale, it's satisfying for you guys as it is for me. Uh, yeah. I'll see you when the arcade opens.